Okay. Hi, everyone. Today, we have the privilege of having a very good friend of mine, and her name is Sophie Hun. Hello, Sophie.
John.
Thanks for being here. And today, we are going to talk about how Sophie has started off her journey as a mindset coach. Yeah. So later, she'll share about how she started off, or actually what made her started this journey, and then the challenges that she faced, and also some of the tips that she can give to any heart-centered solopreneurs or coaches who really want to go into this field of helping other people. Okay, so over to you, Sophie. Could you share with us what you do and how you started off this journey?
Seemed like so long. Um, I am you can call me a mindset transformation coach. So I work a lot with business owners, professionals, solopreneurs, coaches as well, and helping them to gain mastery in their mindset and emotion. So with the skills, with these techniques, they can go ahead and not just help themselves. It's not just personal growth. It's like they can help the people around them. If they're a professional, they can help their team. If they're a coach, they can help all the clients that they work with. So it's been quite a journey for me getting here because I didn't start off where I am. I'm actually
Mhm.
from the corporate. I'm an engineer by training. I just happened to come upon this method and was very impressed by it. So the founder of the method that I learned, called the MET method, she was the mental age coach in the business group that I was in, and I was very very impressed at what I experienced. And when I heard that she was going to offer a course online, and during those times, like 6 7 years ago, Zoom wasn't that popular. But so when she said, she's going to offer it so that people around the world can learn it, I was like, oh, I want to try. I just wanted to learn the secret. It wasn't
Mm.
so much that I, really wanted to become a coach, but I just wanted to learn what that technique was about. And so I signed up, and then I was like, oh wow, okay. What I experienced was like less than 10% of what I was learning, and so that was how my journey started. I started to use the method on people around me, and they found it very useful, and great transformation. So I started to get more referrals, and then slowly I decided, okay, this is something I really enjoy doing. It's very fulfilling. And so I eventually went into full-time coaching.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and then, clients who saw great transformation, they also wanted to learn. So I also became a trainer. So that was how the journey went for me.
Mm. When you talk about clients who wants to get help from you, yeah, could you share a bit more on how do you identify the type of clients even so? Because I think when we talk about mindset in and emotion, I mean it's also a very big niche out there. I mean the self-development niche is actually a very big pie. Yeah. So
Mm.
how do you streamline and identify a this is the right group of clients that we're going to work with so that you can actually give them your best?
Yeah, I must say it's quite an experiment because I didn't start
Mm.
off with this. I actually started off with working a lot with moms because those were
Mm-hmm.
the people around me who tried the method, and they tried it, and at first they came to me and said, "Oh, my child has this problem. Can you help me?" It was very much that way. The moms
Mm.
were also working professional moms, and so that was how they started to recommend other moms or other colleagues, other people they knew who were males, for example. So I expanded, and so as I shared more on social media as well, I got different types of clientele that came. And as time went by, that kind of just organically flowed into the main bulk of the people that I serve. And I think I also shifted on my focus on whom I would serve. So I think it's pretty organic.
Mm. And I like the parts that you shared that you actually started off from social media. Yeah, and I
Mm.
think in nowadays context to market on social media is actually like a buzz, and it's a common thing that most people do. Yeah, from paid traffic all the way to organic flow. Yeah, could you share with us like how it actually started off? Do you actually pay someone else to 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 drive ads for you, or you did something different?
Right. Honestly, I don't know how that happened. I've never had a proper website on what I do. I also have never really had a proper page, and neither did I have ads that were running. So that's very contrary to what a lot of people think when it comes to social media marketing. I think all I did was put the word out there and just to share very authentically about what I do and some of my thoughts about things, about the subject matter that I was passionate about. And so I was just able to reach out through through recommendations and referrals. So I think at the start it was very much referrals, and now I think that has expanded to traffic that I get from social media and maybe other groups. And also I think before the pandemic, I
Mhm.
also ran a couple of workshops, like
Mhm.
in-person workshops. So maybe that was also another way of reaching out. I mean, I think we've become very much focused on online
Mhm.
now that we're much more open up. I think there is also the in-person kind of workshops that can be run.
Mm. Well, sounds like you have a plan, like how to get people on to your workshops. Now, could you share also like because I understand that you also work with students, many of them are from US as well as some of them are from Asia as well. So like for someone who just started off want to be a coach and they have just graduated from the coaching program, being certified to be able to help other people, what are some of the simple steps that they can start off with? Probably you can just share one or two so that, because I understand that sometimes, okay, when I started off my business, my entrepreneurship, I think I also struggle as well and not knowing how to start. Yeah, so could you share with us like one or two bit some steps that starters can start off?
I think a lot of people get stuck on perfection. Like, who am I going to serve? Who's my niche market? I need to get that picture up. I need to get my video up. I need to get my page up. I need to get my website up. And I think my one advice is just get started. Just go out and say, I'm doing this, right? Who would you like to try it? Like, this is what it's about. Just start talking about it instead of trying to seek that perfection. I'm seeing a lot of people doing that. So they don't put their word out. They invest a lot of money on websites, on all the other things. And so then they get very stuck. The other way to get really quickly to learn, because I mean, as a solopreneur, there's so much to learn. You have your craft and you're really good at it. You have your knowledge and your skills, but then you may not be good digitally, technically. You may not know all the marketing stuff, like how to manage things. And that was my journey as well. Like I didn't know all these things. And there's so much, right? It's very overwhelming. You can't do all that on your own. But if you have a good guide, it could be a coach, it could be a business group, it could be just, someone who is guiding you through. I think that can make a difference in getting started faster than trying to do everything yourself and trying to figure out everything yourself. Like I know some students like, okay, um, I am, I want to try and learn how to, I don't know, build a website. Like, that takes the focus away from you serving the people that need to hear your message. Yeah. So sometimes I think getting a guide is also very useful.
Yeah. And for the fact that you shared earlier on, like, oh, I need to get a website done, I need to get a Facebook group out, I need to get my sales copy out. I mean, it's for the fact that I hear from you, it already sounded very draining. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are so much things, and even for myself, having been in business for 8 years, every year I actually sign up for a mentoring program so that someone else who has already achieved what I want to achieve can guide me along the way. Yeah. Okay.
I agree
So
with you. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to add one more point. And I think being in a mentoring group is also an accountability thing because you can really procrastinate or you can really self-doubt. And having someone to just, guide you along and say, okay, like someone to just be with you as you progress, I think that's very helpful.
yeah, and I totally agree with you. Like sometimes being a solopreneur, or actually not sometimes, a lot of times on a daily basis, being a solopreneur, sometimes we just feel like we are stretched in multiple directions. So can you just imagine someone one client pulling your head, two clients pulling your arms, and then two more clients pulling your legs. Yeah, and stretching just 5 directions, and it's really very frustrating, and it takes away the superpower of a heart-centered coach to be able to give in all, because a lot of times being a heart-centered coach myself, sometimes we just want to give our best, and especially after a session we are so drained. Yeah, then on top of that, after the session we have to continue with all the admin stuff and also building on the business as well. Yeah, so Sofie, so what was your experience like on a daily basis? Like, so what how do you build a business from where you were before the pandemic until now, and then what changes do you make, and then how was it now compared to the past?
Okay, that's a great question. I think when the pandemic started, everyone started going online. I think people had more time and people started discovering. So I think I had a bigger base of clientele. But then when I did that, yeah, it's a good problem. But the problem is when I did that, I started to lose a lot of time for other things. Didn't have time for marketing. Actually, the biggest thing was I didn't have enough time for my family because it was always, this client and that client. So I was opening up my calendar to a lot of just open to all the clients, and I didn't block out anything for myself for looking after my business and my family, and that was when everything just went haywire, and I actually got very overwhelmed. Yeah, I think it was the word for it should be burnt out. So by the end of the first year of the pandemic, I think that was where I was. And I'm so glad that we are in touch. And I think a lot of, we spoke a lot, and I was very fortunate to have some advice from you. And we looked at how I could change the way I did things. From my end, I think the first thing I did was block out time for administrative things, for business things like your marketing things, and then block out time for yourself and block out time for your family. And then the rest of it, you can fit your clients. And then you go like, okay, so what if after doing all this, there's nothing left, right, to fit clients? So I think then the biggest game changer for me was to look at the way I served clients. So when I first started out, I used to offer packages like by sessions. So like 3 sessions in the package or 4 sessions in the package. That was fine. It was okay to cope. But later on, I think as I had more and more clients, I really couldn't cope. And then you would have clients that would book this time and that time and whatever time. And mine was like a 24 or 48-hour notification. So like tomorrow, when I look at my calendar, there's nothing, and suddenly there is something, So what the change that I did was I decided to just take clients for a longer term, not just for 4 sessions or 3 sessions, but I wanted to work with them for 3 months or 1 year. So now I actually only take clients for 1 year, like a full year. And with that, I could actually already put aside time that's allocated for them each month. And that's already blocked out. And then I can tell, I know already in advance whom I'm going to see this month and how much more space I have to take on new clients so that I don't overcommit as well. And I think that has been one of the best things that has happened to me last year and coming this year. So thank you, John, for that. Actually, I want to give a shout out to you. Yeah.
Oh, thanks for being so open to getting feedback. Yeah. So probably after that, you can also share about the pricing analysis that we did talk about. But before that, I think some students may be very new to this entrepreneurship experience, and very exciting at the same time, also very daunting as well, because it's all misty. Yeah, but you know that you have the end goal in mind. So I think some of us who are very intellectual and you want to know why we do this. Okay, first of all, for the packaging ones, is because I think the bottom line is you want to serve prospect who you love and who loves you. Yeah, and can you imagine meeting a friend just one time off versus meeting a very good friend like once every month for the entire year? So once you have found a prospect that you really love, you want to see him week after week or month after month, simply for 2 reasons. One is for accountability, and second one is you want him to or her to grow. Yeah, because you are committed to this relationship that you want them to grow under your coaching. Yeah, and the other one, the packages, is I think it gives more predictability to you as well, because and it's something that I learned from another mentor, that is, imagine you making appointments with your VIP clients. And a lot of times we do block off our calendar, right? Yeah. So why can't we treat ourselves as well as our children, our family as a VIP client, and we block off time for them? Yeah. So having block off your own timing for self-care, as well as building the rapport with your family members, and also have packages, adds on predictability to your whole coaching program. And of course, it's still a business and we have bills to pay, and definitely you also want to make sure that you have predictable revenue stream to pay yourself, as well as the 101 thing that you need to pay. Yeah. So Sofie, so back to you. What about the pricing? Could you share a bit on, so because I think that one is very interesting, and many coaches or coachee turn coach, they will be asking, hey, so Coach Sofie, so how much do I charge?
Yeah, it's actually a very personal topic in terms of, it varies from person to person, coach to coach. There's some coaches that say I charge the market rate, and that's fine. But there are some, who are just starting out with zero experience, zero testimonials, zero referrals. And obviously, if they were to say, I'm going to charge market rate, maybe they don't feel good about it. Maybe they don't feel like they have the skills yet, and they just really want to have a chance, an opportunity to practice and still receive an appreciation, in terms of, monetary wise. So I would say, depending on where you are and how you feel about yourself, you could start from as little as $50-$60 to, I think, market rate for coaching. I mean, let's say you compare it to a therapist, maybe it's about 150 to 200. We're talking about Sing dollars. And if you
compare to USD, how much would that be? So that it helps the US students.
Yeah, let's talk about, maybe let's say 120 US, let's say. Or I mean, and if you move higher up, you're more experienced, then you start to charge $300 to $500 US, I think. And then there's the people who are the executive coach. That's one way, looking at the skill of the practitioner. Another way is also looking at the people you wish to serve. So I'm just talking about one-to-one, right? Executive coaching can go all the way up to like 1,000 US, let's say, or more. Yeah. And it's just different delivery, different commitment, different clientele. So look at who you're serving as well. And then look at if you're doing group or you're doing individual. But ultimately, I think two things. Firstly, it has to pay your bills as a coach. And secondly, I think it has to, you have to feel good about it. It has to match, it has to be aligned with your skill and how comfortable you are. The people who are very skillful but are not comfortable charging any higher. The people who are not skillful and then they want to charge higher. And I think these are both very unbalanced. So I think you need to be very aware of that. And of course, if you have self-sabotaging behaviors or self-doubts, those are things that you can work on yourself in terms of the mindset.
That's a great sharing. Yeah. And my take is do charge a fee that can make you sleep well at night. Yeah. And I think there's no fee that's too low or too high. It has to also in business sense, it has to be able to match up to the perceived value that you're giving to your clients. So let's say you want to charge a lot, let's say 500 USD per hour. Make sure that you're able to deliver that kind of value to the client. And let's say if you are charging, say, 15 USD per hour, I mean, I'm not sure if there's such a rate. Yeah, and then you ask yourself, is it too low for you? And will it be able to help you to build a sustainable business? Because at the end of the day, you ask yourself why you chose this field, simply because you have the heart to want to serve. Yeah, and in this practical world, we still need to pay bills. I mean, being in the house, we really need to pay some bills, like the utility bills. We need to buy food for ourselves. Yeah, so make sure you have enough to pay yourself first, And then also one trick that I can recommend is, if let's say if you think that you deserve to charge 500 per hour, yeah, but right now you feel that you are not there yet, but you feel that there's some calling from a higher being say that you should charge 500 per hour. Maybe now you are just able to charge maybe 100 per hour. So when you put up your sales page, make sure that you say the usual rate is 500 per hour, but just for the first 10, put 100 per hour. So it is easier for you to transit from 150 to 500, because otherwise someone will ask you, hey, in the past you only charge 100 per hour. Why is it now that you charge 500? Yeah. So that's a hack that you can consider as well. Yeah.
I like that tip. Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So So right now, do you have any like the key takeaway for anyone who wants to join, who wants to be a coach to serve other people?
I think alignment is very important. Just search your heart and know why are you doing this in the first place. And I think you really hit the nail on the head when you mentioned, why did you want to become a coach in the first place? Why did you want to serve? And then do what feels good. Don't be swayed by, what some other people may say, like fake it till you make it, or, it's going to be very painful if you do something that doesn't align with you. So whatever thing you do, make sure it aligns with you and you feel like it's something that makes sense. And then everything will just flow. And then don't be afraid to ask for help. I think that's very important. A lot of people struggle, but I think don't do that alone. You can always talk to your practitioners around you, friends around you. Ask anybody for help, or advice, like what I did. Like I asked John. See, yeah.
So and the reason why we are doing this is because I think there are many coaches out there who are really serving their clients. At the same time, they're also feeling burnout, and some feeling very lost, and sometimes lost their directions as well, and they have no idea why they're doing this. And during the past few months, we also have some prospects who came to us asking for help as well, because they really want to get more insights and directions, as well as also business coaching, like whether they are doing the right thing and how they can be supported along the way. Yeah. So if you are someone who is a heart-centered business owner and you are a solopreneur and you are really giving all out to your clients, and at the same time, while supporting other clients of yours, you also want to be supported as well. Yeah. So we also have this coaching program that is personally run by Sofie and I, and we'll be putting the application page in the description of this video below. Yeah. And again, we do not take in everyone, because like you have heard from Sofie, we want to look for mentees and coaches who are aligned, and we also want to make sure that you feel that we are of the right fit to bring you up to the next level and to support you and be there for you when you're lost, or be there for you when you cry. And trust me, there are many days that I cried as well, even though I have been in the business for like 8 years. Yeah. So if you think that you want to get supported by us, you can fill in the application page from the link at the bottom. But again, having signed up doesn't mean that you qualify, because we'll book a Zoom call with you to find out more about your reasons why you want to join us, as well as what are your needs and concerns. And then if you are a good fit, we'll welcome you to join us. And again, if you feel that we cannot help you, we will definitely point you to someone else who we feel that can help you. Okay. So if you're not sure, just want to call with us by going to the link at the bottom. All right. Yeah. Okay, Sofie, thanks so much for sharing, and we'll see you in the next sharing.
Okay, thanks, John.